Everyone has goals, everyone has aspiration, but we don't tend to think about our goals more oftenly. And because we live in it, when you don't have any desires and aspirations, goals have never been into your factor. So it's never come into, in front of mine. And for me, when I didn't have any personal development and I just lived life as it is, there was nothing to live for. But when you are purpose driven, then your dreams, your goals start to matter. And there are about 5 ways you can actually achieve your goals right now, as in not tomorrow, not next week or next year, but you can actually achieve your goals right now. And there are about two things. Firstly, in perspective, is you got to ask questions about where you want to go. And then the second part is, the strategies and how you can achieve that. And so one of the questions that you probably need to ask is, where do you want to go? How do you get there? What's really important for you now? And how do you measure it? And what can I get better? Right. And these are the important questions you need to ask, because you know, if you want something in life, you got to have a plan. You got to have a visualization to where you want to go in life. And you got to find out what's really important for you, right? So there are about five, key strategies that I really simplified it. They're about 12 steps, but I bundled it all together to make it more easier for those who are listening right now that you want to start achieving. And I'm telling you right now, you can make it happen. Trust me, you can. Firstly, you got to start with your why. Why do you want to do this? And you got to have a desire. What is that desire inside of that you really want to achieve? And there are different factors. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to get confused. So, how do you want to improve in your life? Do you want to improve, in your health? Do you want to improve in your relationship? Do you want to improve in your personal life? You want to improve in your business or your career or your spiritual life? And there are the 5 pillars of life. And you can imagine, right, that we need to find balance that's going to give us more passion in life, right? And we'll talk about that in a later segment. But you got to find out what are the desires for you. So you got to write that down, and you got to start thinking for what your desires are. Number two is, what is your internal beliefs? Your internal beliefs. And we'll talk about why we need to really anchor the positive, empowering beliefs. And you got to figure out, what you got to have that internal belief that, yeah, I can achieve this, right? So you got to have that decision. So you got to desire, make a decision. And this is really important. You got to write it out. You got to write out your goals, because if you don't write your goals, it's just a mere wish, right? If you don't write it down or put it in your laptop or your tablet or even your notebook, if you don't write your goals, you're never going to achieve it, because it's not in front of mind, right? Because when you subconsciously, psychologists have said that if you write something down on a piece of paper, you are committed to this, right? And so you got to write it down strategically. And the second or the fourth part is, you got to figure out, and you have to put a deadline date. So what is your deadline date? That's number four. Because you can write your goals, but if you don't have a date, you're not accountable to it, right? So it's important to write your date. And the final thing is, you got to visualize your goal. You got to see it, right? What would it be like and feel like to actually achieve your goals, right? And then you got to take action. And you got to never stop. So this is where we are. All right. So think about it as a bridge, as an analogy, as an example, right? On the left hand, on this side of the bridge, which is probably, if you visualize it on the left hand side, right? You got to cast your vision. You got to see it through it, but you're not there yet, right? And by casting your vision, you got to have the mindset to believe that you're able to achieve it. But in between, from where you are and where you want to go, is that middle part to walking through, and that is taking action, right? But you got to take the right action. You got to take the right strategies, right? Because if you take action with no strategies,
Yeah.
it's either going to take you longer, you're going to get confused, and you're probably going to be overwhelmed and procrastinate and stay where you are. So you got to take the right strategies, right? You got to put a deadline date, and then reaching to the other side is your goals, your dreams, and your aspiration, right? And you got to take that first step. But it starts with your mindset. So 80% is your mindset, 20% is your execution, but it's that 100% of determination, discipline, focus. And that's how you're going to get there to the other side, by achieving your goals. So if you put a plan, right? You put a date and you make it happen, you're going to get there faster than ever before.